KP's video news, y'all. It's KP's video news, y'all. All right, folks, I'm gonna cut that little theme short because I'm trying a new system here, and I have to really check it out to see if I'm getting it done right. Gotta pay attention. As you can see, how's that? How's that? All right, got a new little system here, recording system, and trying to get busy, man. Trying to start my winter beard here. Trying to get it started. So I guess it's my fall beard right now. Trying to get that going, man, so I can keep my face warm in the wintertime. But anyway, it's KP's Video News, y'all. You know who it is. KP's Video News, y'all. But I'm doing some follow-up stories here today. And my number one follow-up story of the day is a jury convicted one officer in connection with the Elijah McClain passing. And this is a trial connection with Elijah McClain's death. And a jury in Adams County, Colorado, has found Rodney Rodema guilty of criminally negligent homicide and assault in the third degree in the passing of 23-year-old Elijah McClain. Rodea and Jason Rosenblatt were the two officers first tried in connection to McClain's passing, and Rosenblatt was found not guilty on charges of reckless manslaughter, assault in the second degree, and criminal negligent homicide. The two men, along with Officer Nathan Wayard, who was the first on the scene, and two paramedics, pled not guilty. The trial of Rodem and Rosenblatt lasted almost a month, with arguments starting on September 20th. Prosecution argued that the two officers violated department protocol by using excessive force against McClain. Prosecutor uh, Jonathan Barnes argued that the two men failed to de-escalate the situation. When Elijah is on the ground and handcuffed, he's saying over and over again, "I can't breathe, please help me," said Barnes during the opening arguments, adding that McClain vomited after the chokehold and was drowning. There was no doubt that there was forcible restraint, and heard the testimony of Dr. Buther, who said the ketamine is a sedative, but when someone is in respiratory distress, they are at greater risk. Greater risk. Uh, so the defense argued that the officers followed their department policies and training, instead blaming McClain's passing on the EMTs, who later arrived at the scene and gave McClain a shot of ketamine. So this, but the EMTs also claimed they were following department protocol at the time. There's no doubt this case is a tragedy, but if you take the emotion out of the case, which is what you must do, prosecution uh, falls short, said Don Sisson, Officer Rodema's attorney, during closing arguments. They cannot prove Randy's actions or inactions were criminal in any way. Following the verdict, Attorney General Phil Weiser released a statement thanking the jury and calling attention to Elijah McClain and the McClain family. Today's verdict is about accountability. Everyone is accountable under the equal under the law, and hopefully today's verdict is another step in trying to get this thing, trying to get some things done, man. Come on, man. He's a kid, man. He was a kid, and so we are here today because Elijah McClain mattered. He was just 23 years old when he passed, and he had his whole life ahead of him, his mother stated. And the interim chief of Aurora, Colorado, Art Acevedo, also posted a statement say, "I know many have been waiting a long time for the involved parties to have their day in court. And as a nation, we must be committed to a rule of law. As such, we hold American judicial process in the high regard, and we respect the verdict handed down by the jury." Uh, so, you know, let's see, so far he has not been sentenced. Uh, the cop has been sentenced. Nope, he hasn't been sentenced yet. But the EMTs at the scene, Jeremy Cooper and Lieutenant Peter Susnek, will be tried together at a later date in connection with the McCLAIN's passing away. And Woody will be tried separately because he was the first on the scene and applied the hold. So that's a whole different cop that's going to be. It's that one that got found. That was found guilty today. Uh, was who was it that was found guilty today? Randy Rodema was found guilty, and the second cop, the third, it was three cops that were there. One was found not guilty, uh, and then so the third cop, Woodard, is going to be tried at a later date. So kind of bear with me here. Like I said, I'm trying something new here, and do some cases. And as I did this case about 2 weeks ago about Johnny Hallman Sr., which was he was driving home from a Bible study with with some food to share with his wife, and he took a sharp turn while his white Silverado careened into the front of another vehicle on late on Thursday night in August, according to the police. Within hours after the accident, Holman, who was a church deacon, was determined to be at fault driver in the accident, according to the police and a previous statement from authorities. He was handcuffed and allegedly being uncooperative when they tasered him and became unconscious and rushed to an Atlanta hospital where he eventually passed away. Now his arresting officer, Kiran Kimbrough, who is also a black man, who has just been fired by the Atlanta Police Department, announced yesterday, and the incident remains on active, ongoing investigation by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, and the agency stated that criminal charges may be filed against Kimbrough in the coming months. Every single person and life in the city of Atlanta matters to me. That's what Police Chief Derek Shearbaum stated at a press release. Part of my job is to assess, evaluate, and adjust how the police department is carrying out its sworn mission to serve and to protect the citizens of the city. Shearbaum has stressed that his decision came only after a diligent review of all the facts while ensuring that the due process of his officers. So Kimbrough's termination, which the Atlanta Police Department said in the statement, is allegedly based on failing to follow the department's standard of operating procedures and has yet official as of early Wednesday afternoon, was not yet official as of Wednesday afternoon, and according to records listing him as an active police officer in good standing, provided what the Atlanta Police Department has not yet notified the council of Kimbrough's termination. Wow. When the police officers arrived at the scene of the crash the night of August 10th, Kimbrough attempted to issue a traffic citation. The police department previously stated, however, the driver became agitated and uncooperative, and a struggle ensued. Yeah. Wow. But anyway, the cop that did what he did has been fired from the Atlanta Police Department, and charges are pending there, and charges are pending here. So we got another follow-up case. Prosecutor removed from the YNW Melly murder trial after defense accusations of withholding information. South Florida judge has removed the lead prosecutor in a double murder retrial of rapper YNW Melly. So it stated that after defense attorneys claimed prosecutors didn't reveal that the lead detective in the case had been previously accused of being willing to lie as he gathered evidence. Broward Circuit Court Judge John Murphy granted the defense's motion to recuse prosecutor Christine Bradley in an abundance of caution. The judge didn't find that Bradley's integrity had been compromised, but agreed that she couldn't serve as prosecutor on the case if the defense was planning to call her as a witness regarding the credibility of one of the investigators. Jury selection set to begin next week, and no replacement for Bradley was immediately announced. Last week, attorneys for Melly, whose legal name is Jamel uh, Demons, asked Murphy to remove the Broward State Attorney's office from the case and potentially dismiss the case entirely. The request came after Assistant State Attorney Michelle Boutros, who worked for the Broward office, testified that she overheard the lead investigator in the case against Demons, Mark Moretti, asked a Broward County deputy to lie about being present when Moretti executed a search warrant outside his jurisdiction last October, forcibly seizing a phone from Demons' mother as part of a witness tampering investigation. Defense attorney James Benjamin said that the information should have been turned over to the defense because they could have used it to discredit Moretti during Demons' recent murder trial, which ended in July with a hung jury. Prosecutors say the exchange between Moretti and the deputy was a joke, pointing out to the fact that the attorney for Demons' mother was present when her phone was taken and would have known the deputy wasn't there. Demons' first murder trial ended in a 9-3 vote for conviction. Melly faces a possible forever sentence for first-degree murder in 2018, slaying of two childhood friends. Yep, Christopher in YNW Juvie and YNW Sack Chaser. Their stage names. They stage names because they belong to the same hip hop collective, which stands for Young New Wave, or another phrase that includes a racial slur. And prosecutors said Melly, after the late night recording session, shot the two men inside an SUV, and he and NYW Borland tried to make it look like it was a drive-by shooting. So this happened a while back, but like I said, they've already had one trial, and they didn't go over. It was a hung jury because they tried him again. Okay, now we got our last case, a black Texas student that was suspended over having dreadlocks, and removed from school. Has been removed from the school and sent to a disciplinary program. Wow, come on, man. Daryl George, a black student who was suspended by Texas high school over his hairstyle, has been transferred to a disciplinary alternative education program over the alleged violations of school district policies, a school official said in a letter sent to his family. And the letter, which was sent Wednesday, which has been obtained, stated that the 18-year-old's removal from his school was due to an infraction such as disruption in class, failure to follow school staff rules, and violating the school's dress code and grooming guidelines. But Murphy, the letter to Daryl's mother, said that the teen would be removed from the high school on Wednesday and placed in an EPIC program, and that EPIC program is basically a sending him to some kind of continuation school-like type environment. It's like, but that state has a crown. They got the Crown Act in that state, which says you cannot discriminate against people because of their hairstyle. But this particular school is just they're trying to do whatever they can. They trying to tell him he got to cut his hair and this and that. And it's like, hey man, according to the law, which is a state law, they can't discriminate against you because of your hair. It's the same thing with a job. A job can't tell you that you have to change your hairstyle in a state that has the Crown Act, the Crown Law in place. You can't force them to change their hairstyle because you don't like the way, you don't like the hairstyle. Because what you try to tell them, well, if your hair was look straight, and your hair was like ours, then hey, you could do that. But if it looks like anything natural, you can't do that. Okay, anyway, before I go, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button, and don't forget to share, people. KP's Video News, y'all. Thank you. KP.